Starting on number 1, how do you find the radius, or sorry, the circumference of a circle? 2r pi. 2 times radius times pi. Or if they give you the diameter, what do? Diameter times pi. So on number 1, we're going to cheat a little bit and write our answers in terms of pi. So 8 pi would be the answer to number 1. So what would number 3 be?
10 pi.
10 pi. 2 times radius times pi. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times pi. On number 5, the directions do say use your calculator's value of pi. So we are going to plug it in on this one. So we're trying to find the circumference of the circle on number 5. They give us the diameter. What do we say we do for this one?
Diameter times pi.
Diameter times pi. So plug in your calculator 7.2 times the pi button. If you can't use the pi button, 3.14 is fine. Your answer will just be slightly off of ours. See ya. He's finally gonna get glasses. Alright, I assume you guys got it already. Number 7. Okay, this one's actually tricky. I'm gonna change the page for this one. They give us the area. 333.3. Whoops. How do we find the circumference? Any ideas? 0.3. The area is 333.3. How do I find the circumference? Okay, well I know the area formula is pi r squared, right? And that should equal 333.3. How do I solve for r? Right, get r by itself. Divide by pi. So somebody plug that in your calculator.
106.1.
106.1 sounds like a radio station. And then what do? Square root. To get rid of the square, yeah, you square root it. What's that give us? 10.3. Okay, now technically when we're doing algebra, when you use the square root trick, this could be positive or negative, but a negative answer doesn't make sense with radius. So 10.3, now what do?
Times 2 times pi.
Times 2 times pi. Whatever that is. The tough one. That might be tougher than the new thing. I don't know. The new thing kind of confuses people, but I don't know why. It shouldn't be that hard. So that was supposed to be a review, kind of leading up to what we're about to do. Arc length is what we're about to do. Alright, time for one of my great circles. So we're supposed to, this is one of my better ones, we're supposed to be finding arc length here. What do you guys think they mean by arc length? Yeah, from there to there. Now we have been using the measurement of the arc, which is like 60 degrees or something like that. Now we're finding the actual length. So like 6 inches or something along those lines. The arc length is a portion, a fraction of what? the circle or the length of the circle, which is, or the distance around the circle, which is the what? Circumference. So the arc length is a fraction of the circumference. So I'm going to call this little angle in here, a lot of times they use the variable theta, Theta, which is like a Greek letter, I don't know why, but a lot of times they do. So the arc length is a fraction of the circumference. How do we find circumference? 2r pi. But if we're only using a portion of the circle, we need to multiply that by what fraction of the circle we're using. Well, if this was like 60 degrees, here, let me make it easy. What if this was like 90 degrees? What fraction of the circle would we be using? A fourth, right? Because this is only 1/4 of the way around, like a clock kind of. So you multiply the circumference by 1/4. Or in other words, you're multiplying by 90 out of 360, which is 1/4, right? So if you're using theta in general, you're multiplying by theta out of 360. That does reduce a little bit, but just to keep it straightforward, we're going to do it like that. So you do circumference times theta over 360, where theta is the angle. The central angle or the measurement of the arc, either one. Alright, now we're ready. Number 9. So we're measuring the side that they put the angle on. They kind of made the line darker on the left side. So I'm going to do 2r pi, 2 times radius times pi, the circumference, times the fraction of the circle I'm actually using, which is 195 out of 360. Now you could reduce that fraction. It doesn't really matter though, because we're getting ready to multiply it anyway. So, I don't know. Let's see if they put the answer in terms of pi on this one. Okay, they did. I don't know if I care or not. Alright, let's not multiply the pi out. Let's just do 2 times 8 times 195 over 360. And we'll just put pi in the answer. What did you guys get?
What do you do fractions?
You push the math button and there's a fraction option.
8.7.
Let's see, they put 26 thirds. Should be like 8.6 repeating, I guess.
It's like 8.6 repeating and then.
Alright, well, it's a little easier, right? 27 thirds, I guess. Times pi. And technically, I should probably be writing like yards, because these are unit measurements and I order that too much.
I don't know how to get it into fraction.
Hit the math button,
Yes.
and then I think it's option number 1. So you can hit either 1 or you can hit enter, and then enter. If you had just gotten an answer,
Or you could just do 360 divided by 195.
I got 26. I think I did something wrong.
you got 26 thirds?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Oh, did I write it down? Or, oh yeah, it was 26, you're right.
What the heck did I do?
Yeah, 26. Alright. Number 11, this is the 90-degree angle. So we could write 90 out of 360 on this one, but you might just write times 1/4, because that is 1/4 of the triangle, right? Or the circle. I don't know why number 9 was the only weird angle. So it's 2r pi, so 2 times 13 times pi times the fraction, which is 90 out of 360, or we could reduce that to 1/4. 2 times 3 is 26 times 1/4 is 13/2. If you put 6.5, that's fine. We're not gonna worry about it too much. Even if you put a decimal, I'm gonna count it. All right, so you guys tell me, what should we plug in for number 13? Almost identical, isn't it? Should have changed it up a little bit. Kale, what should we plug in for 13?
2 times 12 times pi times 4.
Okay. 2 times 12 is 24. What's 24 divided by 4?
6.
6 pi. Whoa, that's weird pi. Feet. Why am I not putting feet squared?
Because it's not area,
It's not an area. Circumference is like a line. You could measure it with a shoestring. It's not an area. Arc. Okay. That's the first half. Second half of the assignment is area. So we did circumference and arc length. That was the first half. Second half has to do with area. What's the formula for the area of a circle?
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared. So radius times pi. On number, I guess we're switching to the evens. I'll stay on the left hand side. On the directions, it says use pi from your calculator again. So I guess we're getting a decimal again. So it's 4 times 4 times the pi button. Go ahead and plug it in this time. 50.24
Yeah.
yards squared. So I did put yards squared this time because we are doing areas now.
Do you want us to use 2 numbers? I got 6.
You got 2 6. Did you guys?
I used my
plugged
pi
in.
button.
I didn't use the pi button, I used the.
Okay. Well, yeah. Either one's fine. Well, if you got the pi button, go ahead and use it. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. Your answers will just be a little bit different. What do I plug in for 16, Elena? 10.8 squared times pi. If you don't know where your squared button is, that would probably be a good thing to find. That usually saves time. All your calculators should have a squared button on it. Usually looks like x squared or something like that. That should be in centimeters squared. Okay, number 18. On 18 it gives us the diameter, so what should we do about that?
Divided by 2.
Alright, turn it into the radius by dividing by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that'd be 11.3 squared times pi.
have a weird answer.
I don't know, what'd you guys get on 16?
I got 366.4.
Okay.
Alright, 20 is the one that might actually fool us. They give us the circumference. How do I find the area?
Divide by 5.
Well, circumference is 2r pi, right? So 2r pi should give us 62.8. So how do I solve that for r? Divide by 2 and pi. You can do it all at once. Divide by 2 pi. Okay. On your calculator, you need to put parentheses around the 2 and the pi.
Yeah, it's like, I have a pretty big number.
Order of operations, your calculator has a division symbol, not a division bar. So we want to divide by both 2 and pi, so do 62.8 divided by parentheses 2 times pi, close parentheses. Order of operations is, it would just divide and then multiply, and you don't want to multiply by pi. What'd that come out to?
Like, once rounded, it's 10.
10
Plus
point, 9.99?
9.9949.
Okay, we'll call it 10. Okay, if the radius is 10, the area is, you guys should be able to do this one without a calculator. 10 times 10 is 100, 100 times pi, or 3.14 times pi,
300.
or 3.14 times 100, I mean. So the decimal just moves over twice, right? 314. Centimeters squared. Yeah. We were supposed to round to the 10th place, so it was probably 314 point something.
Yeah, it's like, it would've been 314.2.
Alright, 22, sector area. Okay, so just as arc length is a fraction of the circumference, sector area, let's see if this has any ink in it. Yes, it does. The sector area is a fraction of the circle's area. So it's kind of the same thing. You do the circle area, pi r squared, and then like if it's 90 degrees, you do that times 1/4, or if it's 50 degrees, you do, basically you just do the angle out of 360 times the circle area. That's because that's what fraction you're using. Alright, 22. Okay, so the circle area, okay, it doesn't say anything about use pi in your calculator, so we're going to leave pi in the answer again. So we're going to do 7 times 7 times pi, although I'm not going to plug pi in. And then times what? 45 out of 360. 45 is half of 90, 90 is 4, so that's like 1/8. So it's basically, if we want to leave the fraction form, it's 49 eighths times pi. yard square. I'm not gonna make you, do the fractions. If you got a decimal or a mixed number or whatever, that's fine. Okay, are you guys done with 24 already? So the circle area is 9 times 9 times pi. Let's try 81 pi. Times what fraction are we using? 315 out of 360. That's 45 degrees short of 360, so that'd be 7/8 of the circle. That's kind of a mess as a mixed number. What would that be? 567, 8 pi. Again, that's kind of a messy answer. I'll take your decimal if you want to. Alright, why don't you guys finish that up?